What is up, guys? Welcome to my F1 2017 career Season 1 review. So yeah, of career, I did Season 1 with McLaren Honda, which is pretty much the second worst or worst car on the grid in F1. So it was a real challenge, but I think I managed to do really well with it. I'm really happy with how I did. So yeah, this is just going to be taking you through my results. So in Australia, as you can see, we got P10, which obviously gets us 1 point. So we got in the points, which is good. Our first point of the season in the first race, the first point of our career. It was a tough challenge. I was actually down in P11, but I got lucky. I think Stroll or someone ended up out the race with like an engine failure or something. So luckily I got up to P10 to get a point. Then in China, in only my second race, fantastic result. We got P5. Obviously there's 20 cars on the grid. To get P5 in pretty much the second worst car on the grid is fantastic. I was really happy with that in the wet, which obviously being in the wet is much harder as well. Bahrain, we got P8, which is pretty good. Russia, which like China was in the wet, we also got P5, so seemed to do well in the wet this year. In Spain, we ended up with P9, which wasn't great, but I mean, 2 points, it's not really bad. Monaco, now I'm really happy with this. We got P7. This is by far the hardest track to drive on the whole grid for me, and to get P7 is absolutely fantastic. Now Canada, this is my favourite track on the grid. I mean, obviously Britain is pretty much my favourite to watch because it's Britain, but in actual terms of the track to drive, Canada is so fun to drive. And I got P2, my first ever podium. Yeah, that was in the wet as well. P2 in the wet. Fantastic drive there. Then in Baku, we got P10. That's also, like Monaco, very, very hard to drive. So I was fine getting P10. I got in the points, which is good. Austria, we ended up with our second podium in 3 races. We came third. I was actually second, and then Lewis Hamilton got past me on the last lap. Obviously, guys, I didn't use flashbacks in this career, or else I probably would have to get P2, but I don't use flashbacks. So, yeah, Lewis Hamilton got past me. Britain, my home Grand Prix, I got 8, which I was a little disappointed. I was hoping I could do better, but anyway. Now, Hungary, DNF. It says 18th there, but it wasn't. I think it was just because 2 cars went out before me, so technically it was 18th. I was actually in P7, and then the energy store, I had an energy store failure on the last lap. It basically, the wear was 99%, and then it basically blew up or something on the last lap. And I basically had to DNF. I couldn't flashback, couldn't do anything about it. I was in P7 at the time, so really, really annoying. But anyway, we bounced back from that with P6 at Belgium, which is also a really fun track to drive. And then P2 at Monza, which is a fantastic result. The last of our 3 podiums in the McLaren Honda in Season 1. In Singapore, at the time I'm recording, the Singapore Grand Prix is actually on later in real life. And in this career, I got P9. Singapore night race, road race, I'm not too upset with that. I'm not a big fan of Malaysia. I find it kind of boring to drive, but yeah, I got P5 at Malaysia. In Japan, I DNF'd. I was P12, and then I went for a move on Magnussen, got it done. He fought back, and then into the corner. It was both of our fault, really. We basically just collided both into the wall. We were both out the race. And, yeah, I think it was on lap 7. I was P12 at the time. Magnussen was P11. I'd gone for the move. Pretty much got it done. And then on the... just as we were exiting the corner, we basically crashed into each other. And then, yeah, crashed into the barriers. And obviously no flashbacks. So that was us both out the race. Anyway, we bounced back from that DNF with P6 at Mexico, which is a really fun track to drive as well. Then in Brazil, we got P7. And then to end the season, we got P6 in Abu Dhabi. And yeah, we did finish P7 in the driver's standings in a McLaren Honda. And we got McLaren Honda, arguably the worst car on the grid, to P5 out of 10 in the constructors. Obviously, I can't show you the full standings now because I'm into season 2, but yeah, we had about 133 points, McLaren Honda, and 131 of them were me, 2 of them were Stoffel Vandoorne. So yeah, I did manage to really get the best out of that car. But anyway, hopefully I will achieve better season 2. The offers I got were Williams, Force India and Renault, and as you may be able to see from the top of the screen, I did pick Force India, and I've just started season 2. I got P3, so I got a podium in my first race for them, and yeah. Anyway guys, make sure to leave a like on the video, comment below if you do play F1, how you did in your first season of career, and yeah guys, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.